I am Urmishri Vedamanta. I teach in the Department of English, Ravenshaw University. So continuing the theme of this seminar, I will be talking on multilingual education for tribal children, issues and prospects in the context of Odisha. And I do not have a PowerPoint to break the monotony of my presentation, so I shall be very, very brief. I started observing the mother tongue based multilingual education project, which is called MLE, for the first time when it was launched in the state of Odisha in 2006-07. So after so many years, we have some 2-3 reports on the outcomes of that program, which is basically about increased participation, school participation among tribal children. And we have now more number of mother tongues have now been included in the program. More schools are now in the loop. So we have some eye-catching statistics on access. But the issues of quality that were a matter of concern then, during the period when it was launched, they are still a matter of concern even now. Now, the purpose of my presentation is to raise an issue which is about the kind of education system that is developing or that is taking shape as a result of this MLE program, Mother Tongue Based Multilingual Education Program. So for you to understand the MLE arrangement better, I would very briefly read out the policy context of that education program. The right to education was incorporated as a fundamental right in the Constitution of India under Article 21A in April 2010. With the notification of the Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act. Through all these years, the Government of India has been directly involved in the delivery of elementary education, first by adopting the National Policy of Education, and second by committing itself to the Millennium Development Goals, which envisage the achievement of universal primary education by 2015. The delivery of elementary education was first routed through the district primary education program in 7 states. The felt positive outcomes led to the larger nationwide program called the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. So with these exigencies, the immediate imperative of SSA, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, was to achieve universal quality elementary education by 2010, which has now been extended to 2015 according to the Millennium Development Goal. So the SSA from the outset had planned MLE as a targeted intervention for the excluded. This is the point that I want to emphasize, because we have now been scholars whoever have been working in or on or for the MLE program have been trying to emphasize that MLE education is not for tribal children only, it is for all children. That is what exactly I want to contradict here in my paper. But before that, some of the arrangements in the MLE program which are now going on in Odisha. Number one, the MLE teacher has the role of a para teacher, has the status of a para teacher. He is not a full-fledged teacher, does not have a regular appointment. There is a top-down approach in the MLE teacher training programs. The use of mother tongue has led to the museumization of the mother tongue, which means that the dominant call in the MLE program is to simply use mother tongue to draw children to the classroom. It is not used with exclusive focus on academic learning or the building of academic conceptual understanding. Now, repetition of monolingual forms of classroom transaction. This is now a reverse position. Earlier we had Odia only medium of instruction, which is why the tribal children were dropping out from the MLE schools. Now, because as a result of the MLE education, we now have only the tribal mother tongue being used in the classroom, which has contributed to the dropping out of the Odia medium, Odia speaking children. So there is recently the NCERT came out with a report saying that the Odia speaking children in the MLE schools have been fast dropping out, resulting in a lopsided demographic composition of the MLE schools. Now this is the point that I am trying to make. It is because that the Odia students have been consistently dropping out from the MLE schools that these MLE schools have now become a new kind of apartheid school, where we have only the children from the tribal communities studying there. So this is leading to the formation of a dual system of education. Our program planners or research scholars or policy framers, they have been trying to emphasize that we have to take MLE to all the people, to all schools across the board, and they have been trying to emphasize that we should make MLE for all and not for tribal education. I want to say that it is desirable, but history tells us that desegregation is only an ideal, but segregation is the norm. SSA has, from the outset, had intended it to be a targeted intervention because there was a peculiar negative identity which was attached to the tribal student, which was making education for them difficult. That is why the MLE was planned out in the first place. So, my point in this presentation is to make that instead of sounding politically correct or making politically correct statements, it is time to affirm MLE as not education for all, but MLE as tribal education, because if we do that, only then we will be able to think of a research paradigm to address the issues and prospects that have come up as a result of MLE, multilingual education. And in this, I wish our friends from Deakin University were here, because they are doing something very similar in the Australian context. So we would look to them for how they developed the Australian indigenous research paradigm. We also need a research paradigm for MLE so that we can address the peculiar problems which have come about with the installation of the MLE setup in our country. Thank you.